And whichever attempt we make to get committed, Iblis comes to you. Maybe the people come to you and they tell you, no, you can't be the better person like you were. The time is gone. You can't be as good as you were. And Iblis also comes to us, whispers to us that we can't be better in front of Allah. Whenever you are advised to try to memorize the Quran, do you know the excuse that will come? Actually, my time is up. Maybe I'll teach my children. Actually, you can't be better than what you are right now. The time for you to be better was a long time ago. Memorizing the Quran is not your thing. Becoming a better person is not your thing. The time to become better was a long time ago. Right now, you can't change. And actually, if we were worse than we were now, or if we were better than we were now, that is a clear evidence that we can change at any moment in time. But Iblis makes us think we can't change. He makes us think we can't be better. He makes us think we can constantly be worse and worse and worse. So that is an attack from the back. And from the back, part of our history are the trials and tests we receive from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us. He gives us trials. He gives us calamities come our way. And sometimes you begin wondering, why is it me? I'm battling divorce. I have no job. My child died. All these problems are surrounding me. Maybe as a student, you'll be wondering, the retakes I'm having. And every calamity that is coming your way, you're asking yourself, why me? And I have a friend of mine who was blaming herself because of the wrong things that were happening in her life. Because everything was not moving on okay, and she thought she was the problem. And that is the state Iblis wants me and you to be. He wants me to be depressed, anxious, stressful, and he will use that opportunity to drive you to whatever he wants. He uses that opportunity to find you other hopes that are going to work out for you. Don't you see how they tell you, Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub, with the remembrance of Allah, hearts do find contentment. When you are facing challenges in your life, sometimes it is not the Quran that brings peace to you. And even when someone suggests the remembrance of Allah to you, you'll find that it doesn't make any sense. And sometimes the cool music will work for you. Sometimes you'd rather listen to music. You'd rather watch that movie. You'd rather go to that music show. You'd rather go to that festival. You'd rather watch that filthy movie that is going to take the stress off of you. And that is the work of Iblis. The problems and trials that happen in our lives, Iblis takes advantage of them to make us depressed, to make us stressed, and he conquers us. And each and everything that happens has a solution. I'm going to give you 2 solutions, but that's going to be at the end of the temptations of Iblis, how he attacks us. He attacks us from the back using our righteous past. He also uses the sinful past. And on top of that, he also uses the tests, the calamities, the trials that come our way to think that maybe Allah doesn't want me. Maybe we have issues between me and Allah. Maybe the reason why Allah is doing all this is because he doesn't like me. So it means there is no need. If he doesn't like me, I also don't care. There is no need for me to pray. I'm visiting a friend of mine who was sick in Mulago. He tells me that he had a companion. They were in the same ward, and this companion of his, actually he was a Muslim, he had an accident. He was a boda guy. All of a sudden this guy was like, the time I have prayed, I've prayed consistently for 15 years. I've never missed any salah, and I've always been on time. This is what Allah has decided to pay me. And this was something he was putting ahead. And that is the state that Iblis wants me and you to be in. The tests and trials we go through in our lives, Iblis wants to take advantage of them to delude you off the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That you'll even begin questioning Allah. You'll be like, Allah, why me? Am I this bad? Haven't I prayed enough? Is this what you can pay me? That is where Iblis wants me and you. And with the interest of time, let me cross to the right-hand side. Iblis says, وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ. And this is the side that is very difficult. The word yamin is something that we allude to mean something good. Actually, even when you're making an agreement, you shake hands, you shake your right hands to give honor to the agreement. So all good things, all honor, all dignity, all respect is attributed to the right hand. Whenever someone wants to do something good, predominantly the right hand. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like Aisha narrates, she says, "Kana yu'jibuhu tayammunu." The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to prefer the right hand side in all his matters. Whenever he is eating, what does he advise us? Use the right hand. Use the right hand. When you're entering the mosque, the right hand. All good things are attributed to the right hand. Not only in the Islamic tradition, even in our cultures. The left hand, that is a bad hand. The right hand, that is the good hand. Actually, it is an attempt, it is something on the Day of Judgment. Ashabul Yamin and Ashabul Shimal. The people of the right-hand side are the people of good deeds, and the people of the left-hand side are the people of the bad deeds. Now, how does Iblis attack us from the right-hand side? It is very tricky, especially for the people who are trying to be committed on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One, see how the Western society attributes titles to any achievement you get. Maybe you've studied, now you have a PhD. How do they call those ones? Doctors. You dare call them without calling them doctor. Or Akram, Dr. Akram. Before you know that mindset is crossing to religion. Iblis wants you to maximize the good deed that you've done. Iblis wants you to be so proud of the deed that you've done, to the extent that you want that title on top of it. And nothing crosses my mind so hard, like in the society we live in, the title Hajj. I received a question, I think 2 days ago, someone was asking me, how do they call a person who has made Umrah? And I'm like, how? What do you mean, a person who makes Umrah? What do you want to call him? Just like those, we call them Hajj. Just like we call those people who have made Hajj, we call them Hajj. How do we call those ones who have made Umrah? And I'm like, hold on. The only time they are called Hajj is the time when they are still in the rituals of Hajj, okay? When they leave Makkah, they are no longer called Hajj. Look at the community we are living in. Whenever you go and make Hijjah, you come back, they call you. Yeah, they're supposed to call you Hajj when you are in Hijjah. Actually, when you leave Hijjah, they don't call you Hajj. Yes, that is what you do here. And a respected guy here in Uganda, whom I won't mention, was a rich guy, and they told him, the Muslim community put pressure on him. All the money you have, you've not made Hajj? He was like, okay, let me go for you. So he went, he made Hajj. Now he came back and he earned the title Hajj. Iblis will make me so proud of my deeds. So proud of my deeds that I maximize them to the extent that I feel like I am now good enough in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And never has that been a mindset of a believer. Whenever you think you have obeyed Allah enough, whenever you think that you've done enough to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is where I and you get it wrong. When Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu was given Jannah, when he was still alive, he never put the leg off the accelerator. He increased in the good deeds. When Ibrahim alayhi salam was given the command to build the Kaaba, after building it, he asks Allah to accept it, to accept this from him, because of the many imperfections that might be in the duty he has performed. And self-criticism has to be the thing we do, even after doing a good deed. When we finish praying, the most important deed that is going to make sense in front of Allah, prayer, after doing it, what do we do immediately after Salah? Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. The Prophet is teaching us a concept of self-criticism. You'll find that the good deeds that you're doing are making you arrogant and arrogant. That is why scholars tell us that a good deed that pushes you, a sin that puts you closer to Allah is better than a good deed that puts you far away from Allah. And this is what they are meaning. Iblis' attack from the right-hand side. With the deeds that you do, the good deeds. He makes you proud of them, and before you know it, you begin wondering, why aren't other people doing what you're doing? Actually, since Shaitan reaching the level of tempting you from the right-hand side, it means maybe he has been successful from the previous two attacks. Sometimes he comes to you, he makes you make it a point to mention that good deed to other people. You see, today's tahajjud was tough. Dogs were barking everywhere. I couldn't concentrate in my tahajjud. My time with Allah was affected. You guys were sleeping. Didn't you hear the dogs? Iblis is making it a point for you to mention that good deed in front of other people, because that is what Iblis wants to make you better. Iblis wants to make that feeling better for you. When people take me in such a position, that is the kind of respect I want to earn. I want them to know me as a person who wakes up at night and prays. I want them I want them to know me as a person who constantly fasts Mondays and Thursdays. That whenever people are having their lunch on Mondays and Thursdays, you'll come and sit close by them. And whenever they ask you, please come and join us and eat, what will you be saying? For me, I'm a person of fasting. The sunats are not my problem, like you. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatan wasi'a, says that when someone makes an intention to wake up at night and pray, and they fail because of unavoidable circumstances, maybe because they fell asleep till Fajr time, that person is better than someone who stands up in the morning, who stands up at night to pray, and he wonders why other people are not standing up to pray.